In this episode of The Excursion, I'll be challenged with shooting, hiking, ziplining, escaping, and even aqua-cycling throughout the state parks in the mountains of North Georgia. And if I succeed, I'll enjoy one of the premier cottages here at Fort Mountain State Park. But if I fail, it's the crew that gets to enjoy this charming mountain getaway. Let's get started. From the long, high ridges in northwest Georgia to the warm, blue peaks that blanket the state's entire northern body, this area is rich with waterfalls, scenic overlooks, wildlife galore, and endless family and high adrenaline adventures. There's the trails along the ridges of Cloudland Canyon State Park, one of Georgia's 7 natural wonders that are a popular camping retreat. However, adventures here also extend to biking and even caving with the gang of G3 Adventures, which we experienced last season. And to kick off this season, we begin with a relaxing hike just south of Cloudland in Summerville, Georgia, to a 500-acre outdoor paradise curiously named James Sloppy Floyd State Park.
This park's named after James H. Floyd. He was a state representative, and as the story goes, he got the nickname Sloppy in high school. His football uniform fit him really strangely. It was really skinny, so his coach gave him that nickname, and it just kind of stuck with him. This park is 561 acres. The main attractions are the 2 lakes out here. That's a large draw for fishermen as well as folks that want to canoe and kayak. We have about 5 miles of trails as well, one of which links up to the Pinhoti Trail.
Ranger Stephen Emery then took me on a short hike to kick off our mountain excursion through fall colors sprinkled with a little southern industrial history.
The Marble Mine hike is right at a mile. It's fairly moderate, so not very difficult for most people. And it goes to the Marble Mine, which is an area that the Georgia Marble Company mined in the late 60s and early 1970s. When you get up there, it's a large spot blasted out of the mountainside with a waterfall trickling over the top of it.
From the visitor center, hiking just 1 mile, this is your reward. I don't know if I've earned this yet, but I'll take it. Stephen even showed me proof of how healthy this water is. Unless you look closely, you may not notice the dozens of cone-shaped snails that inhabit this pool just below the water's surface. It looks like something out of a fairy tale.
It does, it does.
So from the fall colors and majestic scenes all around James Sloppy Floyd State Park, we journeyed northeast to our first excursion challenge at Unicoi State Park, an amazing adventure-filled lodge and resort located just 3 miles from the popular Bavarian village of Helen, Georgia.
So Unicoi itself, it's kind of like a one-stop shop traveler's destination for coming out to do things. Of course, it is the largest state park in Georgia. It's 1,053 acres. We have activities ranging from archery to air rifles. We also have several aquatic activities. We do guided hikes as well as GPS scavenger hunts. We also offer fly fishing. You can feel free to fly fish so long as you have a license if you require a license, or you can come get a guide with us where we teach you how to cast and then we'll take you out there.
From breathtaking overlooks at the main lodge to spacious rooms, tasty buffet-style meals, and even an on-location tavern that make this adventure lodge really stand out. So I began my experience here doing a little fly fishing by the river near the Unicoi cabins. Many options between the lakes and streams located on the property. But for this particular trip, I was drawn to one of the park's premier Adventure Lodge attractions. You see, this place has one of the South's most impressive and uniquely designed zipline courses. But before we partake and fly the skies, we play Robin Hood. From the Sloppy Floyd marble mine of Summerville to the overlooks of Unicoi. Time to begin our excursion archery adventure.
And there's a lot of stuff for people to do. It's not just a come for the day place. You can.
I've seen people who stayed here almost a week and didn't do everything.
Wow. What challenge do you have here for the archery range?
We're going to try to get you to shoot from the 20, 30, and 40 yarder. Hopefully you can hit all of them.
All of them, maybe 3 or 4?
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, 3
Yeah.
of 4. I think
We'll have
that's
about
a challenge,
4.
right?
We'll have 4 or 5 shots that you can do. And
Okay.
see if you can hopefully hit them all. So this is the knocking point. This is exactly where you load your arrow. If you listen very carefully,
Okay.
you hear it click.
Yeah.
That is when it is knocked. That's when it's ready to fire. You can pull back and let go when it's time to do so.
Okay.
Pull up and back, and you want to find your anchor point. The anchor point, typically for me, is about right here to my face, because it's all about consistency. Find your shot, look down the tip of the arrow, and just let your fingers slide out.
Okay. All right, you were 1 for 1 here, so I'm up. It's not a competition, though.
No.
No.
It's all about fun.
Yeah, exactly. But I gotta hit this one. I got the wind. The wind's coming in for me. It didn't do that for you. I sailed. I got the L. That's what I was aiming for. Sweet. It shot higher.
There's a lot of power in this bow.
Okay.
It is 25 pounds. There you go.
All right. Getting a little better now. Got him right in the bahonkas. Fox. Wow, did I split the arrow? 4 shots got the deer. 10-yard complete. Sorry, deer. Oh, all right. Did I get him?
Nice, got him.
Yeah, 20 yards. Yeah, I got him right in the bahonkas again.
A little to the left and it would have been a bullseye.
All right, 2 for 2, moving on to 30. 30 yards.
30 yards.
Have to get 3 of 4. I've gotten the first 2, but this is where it gets difficult.
With this one, you want to start raising it up just a little bit, not too much. Like I said, small changes make big differences. All right, nice.
Who'd I get?
Looks like you got the raccoon in the foot.
Yes.
So you got the deer in the chest, so it's perfect height.
Even though we still have the 40, that's just bonus points now, folks. We got the deer. That's my best shot of the day right there. Someone's chopping wood back there. Ah, 0 for 2. Did it go low again? Oh, went left.
High and to the left.
Yes.
Nice, got him.
All right. Kind of hit the turkey in the tail.
And archery went well enough for excursion success. So on to the air rifle range right next door.
Aim down, and then fire.
Perfect. All right. Where'd it go?
Low and to the left.
I missed the target?
No, you got it.
Oh, okay.
You can,
Oh, I see it. Yeah, right there. Okay.
it's the fun one. This is our Ruger. It's
Okay.
breakaway barrel. You can actually feel it. It's got the
Oh,
weight
yeah.
of a real gun.
It's got a scope.
All right, nice shot.
Thank you. Thank you. This has a little kick, too.
Yes.
Not great, but good enough for Craig and the crew. So time to move on to our aerial portion of the show, where James Garrity, who manages the Screaming Eagle Adventures at Unicoi State Park, set me up for this awesome excursion outing.
This is a big zip line. This is a long zip line.
About 2 years ago, we opened up what we call our level 1 course. It's 11 lines and 7 bridges. It's still a very large course.
Wait.
And then after about a year of running that, we came back and we rebuilt what we call our level 2. It adds 8 more lines and 2 more bridges. 5 of those go across the water. They range anywhere from about 150 feet up to just a little over 2,200. So it's just shy of half a mile in length from one side of the lake to the other.
Adios.
So all of level 1 is catered to those as young as 8 years old and 50 pounds. You have to be 10 years old and 90 pounds to move on to level 2 just because of the sheer size of the lines. You need that extra weight and mass to make sure that you make it all the way across.
From tree to tree, up and down these ladders, over and across bridges. This adventure was one unpredictable thrill after another. It is so much like a ski resort, but taking the trails with an airborne swagger.
She's going backwards.
Can I go backwards?
Yeah, if you want.
All right, going backwards on Speedy Gonzalez. No one's ever done that before, unless you just watched Santa do it. Until finally we met up with the Tierney family, who were ready and waiting to take on the dual zipline showdown across the lake, starting off sister versus sister. Who's faster?
Me.
All right.
Ready, set, go!
Oh, she's got a head start. On tippy toes, you're gonna beat Dad?
Now I will.
Now you will. Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1, go, 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 go!
Oh, she got a lead. Here comes Dad. This massive dual zipline ride really is as cool as it appears. My only regret is that I didn't get to do it twice. Seriously, which view do you take? The mountain view? The lake view? The straight down view looking for fish? Regardless, I was perfectly content 75 feet above the water. From marble mines to archery, rifles, and extreme zip lines, we now head to the Golden Hills of Dahlonega, where you may hear the phrase, "There's gold in them there hills." I'll explain later.
The gold rush happened here in 1829.
Okay.
So Auraria was the area that the gold was first found, which is about 3 or 4 miles down the road. They tried to get the county seat, but Dahlonega was more centrally located, so the county seat ended up coming to Dahlonega.
And then this building, this is the most centrally located building in the whole city.
This building is actually old Lumpkin County Courthouse. When the gold rush happened in 1829, thousands of people ascended on the mountains here in Dahlonega. When you have thousands of extra people that come to an area you're not expecting, that crime, of course, is going to go up. So they need to build a bigger courthouse. So they built this as the courthouse in 1836, and the cases and trials would last from dusk until dawn. And that was their main entertainment in 1836, 1840s. It's just like, hey, we got to go see court and see what cases are tried here. That's still a form of entertainment even today.
It is, it is. Now, people think Dahlonega, they do think gold, and there is still gold in them thar hills.
There is gold in them thar hills. Some estimates say that they were able only to mine about 40% of the gold here in Dahlonega. 60% of the gold is either on private land now, it's just too darn difficult to get to without having to blow the tops off the mountains. One of the types of mining that was used during the gold rush was hydraulic mining, and that was outlawed by Georgia in the turn of the 1900s. But yeah, so there used to be a lot of gold here, and there still is a lot of gold here.
People want to learn this history. This is the place to come.
The state ended up purchasing this building in 1965. So we've been at the Gold Museum for over 50 years now, and we recently just renovated the whole museum.
So this balcony has significance.
It does have significance. This is the balcony where the famous quote, "There's gold in them thar hills," came from. The real quote is a gentleman named Dr. Matthew Stevenson pointed at that mountain right over there, and he said, all the miners right before the 1849 California Gold Rush were down there, and he's like, "Don't leave, boys, there's millions in that hill, there's millions in it, don't leave." And he tried to get all of them to stay, but unfortunately they still left. But how that happened is they took that quote with them to California, and an author by the name of Mark Twain heard him using that quote, and he was the one that coined, "There's gold in them thar hills."
So if you're wondering what my excursion challenge could be here in this thar museum, well, Sam and the Gold Museum team got creative some months back and developed an escape room for visitors that me and the crew aim to figure out for ourselves.
We're going to see if your colleagues and you can escape the Gold Museum. It did win the 2018 Most Innovative Special Program of the Year.
Ooh, nice.
You're trying to be jury members. Sit down and look at evidence from an 1855 murder case that was tried in this building. Everything you need is going to be within this room. These are your 4 boxes that you need to get through. Okay. Each one of these, inside each box has another clue, and then might have some other things that might come into handy here.
Nice. Now, can I get some help? Because Craig's not doing anything right now.
Yes. And I do have my...
See, look at that.
I do have my bailiff here. This is Bailiff Wentworth.
Wentworth, all right.
Bailiff Wentworth can give you 3 clues, and he'll also demand a verdict at the end of the escape room.
Champion Forrester is being prosecuted for the murder of Jesse Henley. It is up to Craig and me, and Wes, if you want to help, you can help, to get to the bottom of this. We have 3, maybe 4 questions to ask Wentworth. So we'll see how we do. We got to open these boxes, Craig. Bring the bolt cutters.
I think so. I'll grab those.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Well, here we go. 1 hour. Oh, got something, Craig.
Yeah, that works.
Yes, all right.
When the heart stops beating, a name doesn't cease. It takes more than justice to rest in peace.
We can move furniture. There's a crumpled piece of paper. We got a light. What is this, Craig? It's gold. And these are bricks. That's pretty cool. Wentworth.
Yes.
Do we need to read all these books?
You do not.
We do not need to read.
You don't.
Would you look to books for any clues? This is still one question.
There might be another shelf of books that might have a hint for you.
Hey, what's this? Oh, wait a second. There's one last secret he has to tell. Wentworth?
It might be someone who's been watching us.
I think it's this guy.
This guy's been watching us?
Yes! All right.
Oh, yeah.
This is where he fell.
The Honorable Judge David Irwin demands that a decision be made.
You ready for this, Craig?
I guess so. I mean, they're demanding it. Yeah.
We gotta be unanimous. I don't know what to bring. That was too much fun. Craig, thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
Wes, you were awesome. Sam, and most of all, Wentworth. Craig and I have decided that Forrester was... The jury is out and the Gold Museum is an absolute gem of a destination. So we now roll northwest over the Georgia mountains to Fort Mountain State Park, home to my final challenge and potential reward, but also home to one of the South's most breathtaking and photographed overlooks.
The park is a little over 3,700 acres. We have 70 campsites, 15 cottages, a 17-acre lake, miles of hiking trails, biking trails, and equestrian trails for use.
Ranger Brad took us directly on the short hike up Fort Mountain to the stunning overlook. And even though I knew it was going to be spectacular, I was still blown away.
Holy cow.
From there, we hiked by this refurbished fire tower that sits atop the mountain's peak.
It was built in the 1930s, it burned in the 1970s, and then it was renovated in 2016.
And from this apex, we traveled down and saw the namesake of Fort Mountain, the fort itself. That actually isn't even a fort. Some say it is an Aboriginal wall constructed circa 500 AD for religious purposes, but others believe it could be remnants of Hernando de Soto's conquistadors who were known to pass through these parts.
So it is possible that Fort Mountain was named after something that was never really a fort.
Now, Brad was the 2018 Georgia State Park Ranger of the Year, meaning we knew we were in good hands during this next challenge down on the water.
Canoes, kayaks, paddle boats, and aqua-cycles.
Aqua-cycles for your challenge. You have 2 people can pedal in the front and 2 people can get the easy ride in the back.
Oh, nice. Okay, you can bring the whole family out there.
That's right. You're gonna have 5 minutes to get to the other side of the lake and back to the dock.
We have a little headwind going here.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be tough to get that time now.
Going out is going to be really tough as you go into the wind, but once you make the turn and you start coming back this way, you're going to be going pretty fast.
All right, that's good to know. Now I might have this guy on there with me, and I'm guessing he's not gonna help.
If you keep him in the front, he might have to help when you're going out.
Yeah, otherwise the pedals will be hitting his legs, right?
That's right.
So I could get a little Wes help, right, Wes? Nah, see, he doesn't ever want to help me. But the wind was blowing, the rain was beginning. What started as a simple aqua glide turned out to be no different than a Tour de France. Our chain came loose, so the back came off. Too much power. That was too much power, Wes. And even though Brad was close by for any rescue necessary, Ranger's always here for you. No major crisis. Wes and I took it upon ourselves to fix this baby and finish the drill. I think we're back in business, folks. What's our time?
I didn't check when we left.
Turn back. Really don't have much to say right now. We've already decided.
We won.
We won. Me and Wes are in the cottage. Craig's sleeping in a tent with the bears. So we decided to take one more hike down the mountain and check out yet another Fort Mountain scenic wonder with this mountainside waterfall. And after Craig captured this beautiful footage, Wes and I informed him that we were in fact the ones who got the 2-bedroom cottage reward, and that Craig himself got to continue his evening enjoying the great outdoors. I mean, it's a 2-bedroom cottage, Craig. I'm sorry.
That's so nice.
They have a 3-bedroom, but it was taken. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, appreciate it.
Hey, buddy. Thanks a lot. You enjoy, all right?
Sounds good, man. All right, good night, everybody.
Craig seems all right, right? Well, I know Wes and I are doing just fine in our quarters, so excursion complete. See you next time.